John Gruden is out with the Las Vegas Raiders. Rye Cove, their season is over.
And say it ain't so, Lehigh Generals are 3-0.
Welcome back after a week off to episode 4.6, our mid-season report. You'll notice that we're in a different setting today. We're in the classroom because we're about to go to school. Of course,
1-3 in a row. I'm sorry.
3 in a row, and tester.
MIA. Well, every time. I mean, I missed a couple weeks ago, but I was in the city of sin.
CNC.
But I think Greg don't want to come because I've been ribbing him over that Ridgeview loss.
Yeah. I don't think he's recovered from the Ridgeview
I don't think
loss.
so either. Todd, you and Bubba got him.
Yep. You may have figured out what his Ridgeview could be his kryptonite.
Could be.
That's the way we're looking at it. All right, this show's going to be a little bit different than normal, as if normal is ever something that happens with the show. But we're going to first we're going to cover the recap from this past week's games, talk a little bit about them, and then we're going to do some other things and kind of give you a mid-season report where things stand here in the region and throughout the region. All right, let's go to recap real quick. Abingdon, Gate City, 63. Abingdon, 63. Gate City, 39.
But that score's a little closer. I think Abingdon was winning, 27-21 at halftime.
27-21, and they had a 33-28 lead. The word is flabbergasted. When I seen that score, I thought this was something else. And even you mentioned that it may have been a JV.
Well, somebody sent it to me, and I thought it was a JV game playing on a Tuesday.
Well, because I was shocked when I seen Gate City had scored 39 points and had the lead.
Which again, Gate City might be getting kids back from COVID. We don't know. We don't know what's been going on over there.
Well, Abingdon managed to explode in the second half and finish it out. Malik Council had 6 touchdowns, 226 yards rushing to lead Abingdon, who improves with the win to 5-1. But still, nice showing by Gate City, and evidently that's a team that's on the rise, moving in the right direction. Up next, Lehigh 57, Eastmont 34.
3 in a row. Say it ain't so.
Lehigh, another team moving in the right direction, it looks like. After losing 26 straight, all of a sudden 3 in a row.
That's big for a program, too.
It absolutely has to be.
And I think they got a lot of young kids, so that's good for Lehigh. I'm glad for them.
I am, too. Virginia High, 63, Honeacre 30. Virginia High continues the winning ways as Johnny Delaney and Stevie Thomas each had 4 touchdowns apiece for the Bearcats. Virginia High was expected to probably win this ball game.
But they're putting up 60 a game.
Yeah, they're putting
against anybody.
And Honeacre I know had them very well scouted, and so that says a whole lot because Honeacre is in the driver's seat right now in the BDD. Skylar Miller rushed for 94 yards for the Tigers, but it just wasn't enough. Virginia High continues on the hot streak here. Richlands 27, Tazewell 26. This is one of those games of the week. And this one was.
And that come with a little bit of controversy, I hear. I don't know. I just go by, how it is.
Yeah.
Something about the last play of the game or something.
Last play of the game. Should the forward momentum have been stopped? Gavin Cox is 4th and goal for Richlands. I think around a minute to go in the ball game, 57 seconds, something like that. Got caught up in a pile and heads up play on his part, laterals the ball backwards.
Okay.
And Sage Webb grabbed it, ran it in from about 3 or 4 yards out. That actually tied the game. Isaiah Bandy hit the extra point for the difference, 27-26. But
that's a big win for the Big R.
Yeah, they needed that win. Tazewell just seems that no matter what happens, they just can't seem to get Richlands.
Get over it, huh?
Richlands still has their number, but the Bulldogs seemed to have played well for the most part during that game. It just wasn't able to finish it out. And so that was a classic, came down to the end. Wise Central 56, John Battle nothing. John Battle still continues to struggle. They only had 51 yards of total offense against Wise. And this was a Mountain 7 competition that really on paper, it looked like it would be about like this too. Big thing is Tyson Tester.
Tyson Tester getting on the news and getting a little publicity.
Yeah, getting a little pub there. Ran and caught a touchdown pass for Central. Central back in the win column after losing 3 straight, so I know that had to be big for them as well. So I think they improved to 3-3. Battle goes to 0-6. Rural Retreat 34, Blaine County 8. Jacob Alford with 118 yards rushing for the Indians gets him into the win column. He had 3 touchdowns there. Bland did manage to get on the scoreboard, but this game was all Rural Retreat. This would have been I'll take it back. It wouldn't have had. I was starting to say this game may have had district implications, but it didn't. Bland not in the district with them. Lehigh 42, J.I. Burton 40. This is maybe up for one of the games of the year right here. Grayson Huff rushed for 192 yards and 5 touchdowns for Lehigh and helped Generals pick up. And, of course, this is one of those 3 wins we were talking about. They helped them pick up a big win. The key thing here is this one was on the road.
This was at Norton.
Yeah, this was that 3rd straight win. The Eastmont game was the second. Second straight win for them. But both teams, there was evidently no defense played. 82 points, 729 yards of total offense, 46 first downs in this game.
That's pretty good.
And it basically came down to converting on a 2-point conversion. Late in the 3rd quarter, Burton had a 2-point conversion attempt fail, and then with 5 minutes and something left, they had one and scored, cut it to 2, and weren't able to get that conversion. So pretty exciting game, and Lehigh moving back into, like Coach said, 3 in a row. Lebanon gets into the win column with a 20-0 win over Northwood. Grayson Olson had a 68-yard touchdown run in the 2nd quarter, and that basically got the Pioneers started and helped them get their first win of the season. Hunter Music and J.D. Tatum also scored for the Pioneers. Big win for Graham G-Men, 31-6 over Bluefield. This is always a big game, no matter when it's played.
Wonder if it was the same atmosphere.
I'm wondering. I think
like it being the first game.
I really don't think,
because people can say, well, this person was out, that person was out. But Graham put a smacking on them.
And I think people expected this, whereas that you go into that first game of the year and there's just a bunch of talk. You don't really know what to expect. So I don't think the atmosphere around the game was probably as electric as it normally would be if it was that first game of the year. But Graham picks up 31-6 convincing win. Zach Blevins had 145 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns to lead them in that big win. So congratulations to Coach Palmer and the gang. Riverview, West Virginia 30, Twin Valley 14. This was Twin Valley's 2nd loss in a row after going 4-0, and I honestly didn't expect them to travel to West Virginia and lose. I thought they were
I did not. That was a shocker to me when I found out. I couldn't find the score that night. I woke up next morning and talked with a couple people and said they just what could have went wrong, and that just shocked me.
Well, a couple, I think, a couple players, a little injury here, a little injury there, not being in rhythm and stuff, and it just.
They said they were like an hour and 40-minute rain delay or a lightning delay. But still, it's still, Twin Valley been scoring a lot of points, but when you get some injuries, that's what happens at a small school.
Well, and now Twin Valley, although they lost 2 in a row, they picked up a win via forfeit from Rye Cove due to Rye Cove canceling the remainder of their season. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So Twin Valley is now sitting at 5-2. So that it hasn't been reflected on the VHSL ratings as of this week, but it will be next week because I don't think they're going to find an opponent to take their place. Holston 19, PH 7. This was a game that had playoff ranking.
That's a big win for Holston.
Big win. Matter of fact, Coach Holston. I done lost my train of thought here. I'll come back to it in a second. Jordan Esel scored 3 touchdowns to lead Holston to a 6-0 start over PH, of course. And all of the scoring in this game came in the 2nd quarter. After that, it was pretty much.
And to hold PH to 7 points with what they've been doing, that's pretty impressive.
Chris Akers was getting ready to say. Chris Akers yet to lose at Holston, 6-0. The Rebels, as you said, only had 107 yards rushing, 107 yards total offense. But a lot of this game, I'm not taking anything away from Holston. This was still a tight game. A lot of this very well could have had major implications. Was the rain impact on PH, because there's that snap from center. There was a lot of bobbled snaps all night long,
and they probably like to get the edge and stuff.
And it, I think that
when
was,
you become one-dimensional, it's
But Coach Padgett said that they got their butt kicked, is the way he talked in the newspaper. So, but that was a game, and you very well could see those two teams meet again, 19-7, Holston over PH. And then Union and Ridgeview, this was a big one. Xavier Lomax had 182 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. And if you recall, when he was a sophomore, he had the broke ankle, and he sat out the whole season. And that kid was a lineman, if I'm not mistaken, when he first started varsity. But he's really turned into a potential player of the year in the region. Union had a 14-0 lead at halftime.
Well, that's the thing. I watched some of that game on the NFHS, but what got me and what I feel like, I mean, it's just my opinion. I mean, Ridgeview's a great team. They came out and ran the ball the first 6 times. They went 3 and out the first 2 possessions, and got one of the best quarterbacks. But after that,
well, they evidently tried to establish the run. They couldn't, maybe. 257 yards passing from.
And Union jumped, like you said.
Ryan Oakwind
jumped up on them 14-0, and they just couldn't.
Had to play
recover.
From behind.
Yeah, had to play from behind, throwing the ball. And I think when they threw the ball, they threw it pretty much when they wanted and how they wanted.
Well, you can't help but wonder, you know, you got a gunslinger, and you're going to hear this kid's name for the next 2 or 3 years.
Next 4, he's a freshman, ain't he?
Yeah, unless they give him a red shirt, him another.
That's true. Give him a
3
COVID
years,
shirt.
3 years. 257 yards passing, and led a pretty valiant comeback there. And they actually kicked an onside kick to get the ball back. Union was able to recover it and run the clock out. So, I mean, Ridgeview, you wonder.
That backpack, or that fanny pack.
Fanny pack came up a little bit short. Union, not short, helped them with a 7-point victory here. So 28-21, Union over Ridgeview. All right, our big talk real quick isn't going to be as big of a segment as it normally is, but on Big Talk, today we're talking about the Rye Cove. Unfortunately, after 7 games in, had to cancel the rest of their season. And it's just, it's tragic anytime somebody gets hurt, but the fact that nobody was severely hurt is a good thing. But due to some injuries, it was some injuries that...
I think they had 14 or 15 players, 2 or 3 got hurt, and they couldn't come out and finish the game against Lehigh. They only had, I think, 11 players,
11.
And they felt like they shouldn't. And then once that happens, you know what's coming next.
Yeah. I think,
and you know, a couple of these other schools, Twin Valley, Hurley. I mean, they're a couple injuries away doing the same thing.
Yes, going back to that game, my understanding, you go into the locker room at halftime, and they discovered then that 2 kids had symptoms or were demonstrating symptoms of a concussion. And that wasn't until they got in at halftime, and they realized we're down to 11 players here. Lehigh had I believe it was 26-0 lead, and they realized that it wasn't in the best interest of the players and stuff. So they come out, and I spoke to the athletic director, Michael Paul Berry, and he told me that they didn't want to do this, but they hadn't even got their homecoming game in, and unfortunately didn't able to, I think, maybe play 1 home game all year. And of course that's going to affect them as far as revenue goes. Football is a big cash cow for all the schools in Southwest Virginia. But they made the right decision. Fortunately for Rye Cove, and we do have some positive news coming out of that. They did schedule a JV game, and they're going to have their homecoming festivities and go through that process. So the kids will at least get have homecoming attendance and so forth, homecoming dance, and they're going to finish out the season playing some JV games. And another positive note, they have a lot of younger kids, and they're expecting, based on the numbers that they have, that are not varsity eligible at this time, they're expecting around 25 plus next season. So they feel really good about next year, and that's a good sign. But it's always a bad thing, and it's the first time that I'm aware of any team, and I'm sure it may have happened, but it's the first time I'm aware of a team having to forfeit their season any time since I've been doing this. So sad, unfortunate, and we hope.
And you know, sometimes you do that and you don't know if you'll recover or not.
You don't. That's true.
Because kids gonna get in their mind, well, I don't want to start this season, and this happened. I might just go to Gate City, or I might go to Twin Springs, or I mean, it's a blow. I just hate it. I hate it for Cheyenne. I hate it for Rye Cove.
Well, I hate any seniors they may have on the team.
That's right.
Senior band members, senior cheerleaders, I mean the whole 9 yards, missing out on some stuff that you only get to do once in your high school career. So tough blow there to the Rye Cove Eagles, and hopefully.
And tough decision on the principal and AD and
but
coach.
I think they made the right.
Oh,
decision.
they did.
Made the right decision. Your gut, your competitive spirit makes you want to go and play, but they did the right thing by calling it. And we've seen something similar to this with Bland a year ago when Bland didn't have the numbers and had to cancel their entire season. This is becoming more of a common problem, and I think we're going to see more and more of this in the next upcoming years. And like you said, I could count on both hands several teams in our region right now that, with some unfortunate circumstances, could be sitting exactly where Rye Cove is at.
That's right.
All right, that's it for our Big Talk segment. Up next, we have our mid-season report, and we're going to be talking about the BDD right now, Black Diamond District mid-season report. Let's take a look at the BDD and where everybody stands right now. If somebody had told you at this point in the season Twin Valley would be 5-2, and as far as one loss would be ranked higher than all the teams in the BDD and the VHSL point stand, would you have figured that?
No.
That was a very brief answer. I didn't see that coming. Hohenacre's sitting at 3-3.
But that's at this point.
Yeah, at this point. And there's only 3 games left in the regular season. Hohenacre has 4 games left. Grundy still has several games left.
Yeah.
But even with 2 or 3 games remaining, the BDD is yet to be determined. For example, Twin Valley's sitting at 5-2. Well, I'm talking about overall records: 5-2. Hohenacre 3-3. Grundy and Hurley both sitting at 1-3. Now,
which was it last year? Nobody from the BDD made the playoffs,
yes,
because they changed it to 4 teams.
Yeah.
And if it was 4 teams again this year, it'd be close.
Twin Valley would be number 5 at this point.
At this point,
ratings points, yes, they'd be number 5.
that's right.
Hohenacre still has to play Twin Valley, so the BDD is still wide open. Hohenacre still has to play Twin Valley and Hurley. Grundy has to play Twin Valley and Hurley, and Twin Valley and Hurley.
I'd like to be Hohenacre's.
Hohenacre's sitting in a pretty good spot right now. In my opinion, the Hohenacre Twin Valley game, Twin Valley and Grundy will play. If Grundy gets the win, Hohenacre's definitely in the driver's seat then.
Oh yeah. Well, the big thing is with
Twin Valley would have to be able to upset Hohenacre.
What I'm looking ahead with Grundy's schedule. They better be lucky that Norton is down, because they need that. They need that win. It's not going to be, because they still got Wise, they still got Patrick Henry. Who else? I mean, they've got Hurley.
But there's points there for Grundy to collect.
To grab, yeah, right. Well, Twin Valley, if they can beat Twin Valley, there's
Twin Valley
set 5 points plus whatever they get.
Yeah, well, that's true. Anybody right now of those 3, Hurley, Twin Valley, or Hohenacre, Hurley, Grundy, or Hohenacre, if they pick up a win against Twin Valley, they're going to get some points.
That's right.
I think Twin Valley, sitting at 5-2, could easily win 2 of the next 3, and they could easily win 1 of the next 3. It could go either way for them. So BDD right now, if you want to give a favorite, who do you think is going to win?
Hohenacre will win the Black Diamond District. 100%.
I think, even though right now the record isn't, as outstanding, I think Hohenacre is the favorite to win the BDD. So that's where we're going with it. That's what
especially after.
How do you see it?
After the Riverview game and Twin Valley game, and Hohenacre setting pretty good.
I think they are too. The Riverview game, I was.
If the injuries, I mean, I don't know if they're. And right now, talking to the coaches, they don't play for 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
They got forfeit. They got open, and then they play the next Friday.
Yeah, and they got a big lineman that got a bad report today, and he's probably going to be out for the rest of the season. The Griffey kid, so that's a big blow to him right there. He takes up a lot of space.
He does.
Pretty good sized kid.
He helped out on them 5 wins. I know that 4 wins, and
All right, let's take a look at the. That's it for BDD standings. So both of us are going with Honecker to finish it out. All right.
Hi, I'm Melinda Krieger with True Point Bank. Cheering on local teams is a community tradition at True Point Bank. We are a local bank supporting our local schools, charities, and people. If you aren't banking locally, it's time to make the switch. Stop by one of our offices or visit us online at truepointbank.com. This football season, have pride in our local teams and bank local with True Point Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Okay, let's take a look at the Cumberland District. Cumberland District standings as of right now, you've got Twin Springs sitting at 4-1 overall. You've got Eastside sitting at 4-2. After that, Tom Walker at 3-3.
they're still in it.
And then you've got Castlewood at 2-3.
Out.
And J.I. Burton 0-6. And of course, Rye Cove canceled the rest of their season at 0-7. It's really going to come down between Twin Springs and Eastside. 4-1.
They play this week.
Play this week.
If Twin Springs wins this game this week, they'll be your district champions.
Yeah, I think Twin Springs.
And I think Warner, I mean, he's done a great job there. I mean, if he wins this game and wins a couple more games, he could easily be coach of the year.
Yeah, I think he's one of the coaches.
And I'm talking in the area as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think you could put him in there for that. I'm giving, I'm very shocked with Burton. I thought they were probably a little bit better than what they were. Evidently, they've had some issues. Maybe it's COVID. Maybe it's a bunch of other things that we don't know. But I actually thought Burton was going to be a major player this year, and that's probably the biggest shocker for me out of the entire region.
That's right. I'm not speculating. All I know is I know this ain't the real Burton here. Something's going on.
Yeah.
So
Tom Walker, keeping things respectable, 3-3. Coach doing a pretty good job over there, Coach Johnson. Eastside sitting at 4-2. That's not bad.
Not bad, but they've got a big game Friday. I mean, that's a big game.
And whoever wins this game will more than likely control their own destiny moving forward. It's up to, and if they stub their toe, it's their own fault. So Cumberland District, what do you think moving?
I'm saying Twin Springs.
I'm going to say Twin Springs as well. I think Twin Springs is going to take it. All right, let's take a look at the HOGOHEEGEE real quick. HOGOHEEGEE sitting right now atop and with more wins than anybody else in the.
And some of them's going to go to the house.
Yeah. Holston 6-0. Chilhowie sitting at 5-0. And you got PH, solid PH team at 4-2. Rural Retreat sitting at 3-2.
And they can beat anybody at any time.
Oh yeah. That could be dangerous. And then you got Northwood at 1-4 and Lebanon sitting at 1-5. The big game coming up in the HOGOHEEGEE here is going to be Holston and Chilhowie.
When is that playing?
I'm not sure what number that game is, but that's more than likely going to be for it all.
Well, they both already beat PH, right?
Yes.
They've beat everybody, I guess, except each other, right?
Correct.
So, boy, that's a tough pick. I ain't even going to pick that one
I think it's going to be a good one. That's the one I would make the trip to go watch.
But, boys, we've wrote Chilhowie off. They lost too many. They're not going to be that good. And look here, they're sitting there again.
There they are.
Robertson's got them playing. I mean, and you got to keep them up there until somebody beats them.
I agree. Even though Holston's sitting at 6-0, I think Chilhowie's still the favorite.
I do too.
And I think that may be.
I'm not going to pick a 100% winner like I did the last two.
I think that may be the first loss for Coach Akers. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what else Holston has on the schedule there. And likewise, Rural Retreat is. They could create some problems for some other people there. I think they're a team that you don't want to necessarily have to go in playing and knowing that you got to get a win.
That's right.
You know, who you think's going to take the HOGOHEEGEE?
I won't say Chilhowie until somebody beats them. Nobody's beat them. Wasn't they undefeated last year too in the HOGOHEEGEE?
I'm not sure. I thought Holston was. I think Holston was last year. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, I think Holston did last year. I'm going to go with Chilhowie to win HOGOHEEGEE. I think that I think Holston's a good ball club, and I heard a lot of good things from Coach Warner about it. Man, his very words was, he said they're a nasty football team. He didn't mean that in a bad way. He said they're tough, and so it could be very interesting to see that. Maybe we have to check that game out. All right, so that wraps up our 1A breakdown, HOGOHEEGEE, Cumberland, and the BDD. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back, and right after this, we're going to talk about the Mountain 7 standings.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles.
That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
There is a major incident in Lower Manhattan.
We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at...
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the monster hurricane and its deadly impact already. And tonight, up and down the East Coast, authorities...
All right, folks, welcome back to the show. We've been talking about our mid-season report here. We covered the BDD, the HOGOHEEGEE, and the Cumberland District. We're going to take a look at the Mountain 7 standings and the Southwest District and see what's going on there. All right, Coach, Abingdon sitting alone at the top, 6-1, Mountain 7. Not a big surprise there. And the fact that, they're 3A and everything, we kind of take a look at the other ones. Ridgeview, 5-1. Union coming in at 5-1, and then after that, it's kind of a mishmash of things. Central improved to 3-3, so they're just a little bit better than the rest of the pack. Gate City at 2-4. John Battle sitting at 0-5, and Lehigh is now actually 3-3.
3-3.
So a little bit of scrambling at the bottom, but at the top, it's the same 2 or 3 like we expected. This week, Union has Wise. This Friday, that's going to be a big game. If Wise gets a win there, it's going to mess everything up.
They won't have to worry about messing nothing up.
They don't have to worry about it.
No. That's why Coach Chester's not here.
Union versus Abingdon is also yet to be played. And if Union beats Wise this week, then they'll end up squaring off with Abingdon for the Mountain 7 title. If that's the scenario, who do you think is going to get the win? If it comes down between Union and Abingdon?
Probably Abingdon.
Abingdon.
Yeah, Union can't handle them.
If it's assuming
Too tough.
everything stays the
Abingdon
same.
throws the ball pretty good.
Union beat Ridgeview 28-21. That actually put them in the driver's seat there. As they're moving toward Abingdon. But if Wise upset Union this week, it could force a 3-way tie. If
what I say. If
Abingdon lost to Ridgeview, if Abingdon loses to Ridgeview, excuse me. Go ahead and say.
No, I'm not saying it.
Ifs and buts.
But no, if my mama had my pawpaws, then she'd be my pawpaw.
Yeah. So if you look at the Mountain 7 at the end. Instead of just calling out who you think's going to win, who you think's going to be the top 2?
It'd be Union and Abingdon.
Who you think's going to be 1?
Abingdon.
Yeah, I think Abingdon will finish 1. I'm telling you, it never fails. Ridgeview manages to outpoint this bunch every single time somehow. If Ridgeview can win what they've got left, they could outpoint Union, even though Union beat them. Now, that's the math that I've done. I could have done it wrong.
Wow. And that's even Ridgeview playing 2 single-A teams.
Yeah.
And one of them won a game, and the other one's only won 1. So how's that possible?
I do not know. Now, may have done the math wrong, but I
probably
looked at
did.
it, and I kept looking at it. I said, I can't figure this out, but it is I put it this way. It is mathematically possible for them, assuming that Union loses to Abingdon, it is possible, I think, for Ridgeview to outpoint.
I think you're on crack.
But nonetheless, I think 1 and 2 are going to be Abingdon, and I'm going to go with Union. I'm going to go 1-2. But that's going to make for some interesting talk going into those last few weeks. All right, Southwest District.
Ain't no talking about this.
Ain't no talking. Well, we got Graham and Virginia High both sitting at 5-0. Then after that, you've got Tazewell 2-4, Richlands 2-3, Marion sitting there at 1-5.
Graham.
It's going to come down to Virginia High, Graham. I think Virginia High gets whooped for the first time this year.
When do they play?
Not sure when that game is on the docket, but it's
Which
probably,
Virginia High's got some speed, but I don't know if they're ready to.
I think
If
they're
they beat
knocking
Graham,
on the
then
door. They ain't ready to come on
No,
in.
they ain't ready to come in yet.
And that'd be a great game to go watch as well. Go see some really good athletes. So you're going with Southwest District. You're going with Graham.
G-men.
I'm going with the G-men as well. So we agreed on every one of these. What about that? All right. Now for our Bellacino's Player of the Week. Our Bellacino's Player of the Week this week is from Twin Valley High School, offensive and defensive lineman Isaac Cooper. We'll take a look at Isaac here. All right, here I am with Bellacino's Player of the Week, Isaac Cooper, number 69, Twin Valley High School. Isaac, congratulations on being Bellacino's Player of the Week. Appreciate you being here with us. You guys suffered a tough loss this past week against Riverview, West Virginia. Tell us a little bit about the game and what went wrong.
It just started off bad. We had a 2-hour rain delay. It was hard to stay focused in the locker room for so long, and then we came out and we had a few people get hurt to start off the game, and we got down a little bit and just couldn't come back.
Well, it was a tough loss after winning 4 in a row and then dropping 2 straight. It was a tough loss to Twin Springs. You guys battled the entire game, but now you're looking ahead and you're sitting at 5-2. You've got 3 games left. All 3 of them are big district games. So the meat of your schedule is at the end of the schedule. You guys pick up 1 win, maybe 2 wins. 1 or 2 is going to put you in the playoffs. How do you feel about things moving forward?
I feel pretty good about it. All of the things that we did wrong are things that we can fix in the next few weeks. We'll have a few weeks to practice, and we can focus on our next game. I think it'll be a good matchup.
You guys got a long break here with the Rye Cove situation because now you've got all this extra time to prepare, which can be a good thing. Plus, it's a good time and opportunity to heal and gain some of that momentum that you had at the first of the year. Well, on behalf of Bellacino's, once again, I'd like to congratulate you and after the whistle for being our Player of the Week, Isaac Cooper. All right, congratulations to Isaac Cooper of Twin Valley High School being our Bellacino's Player of the Week. All right, Coach, 1A, top 5 teams moving in the right direction. Which teams in 1A in our region are moving in the right direction?
My biggest team right now in the right direction out of everybody in single A in this area is Twin Springs.
Okay.
I got
Twin Springs in my 5. How about the Homeacre Tigers?
They're in the right direction. They're going to win the district. So,
Yeah.
I don't see, unless there's something tragic happens, they get injuries or what, but they're in the driver's seat to win the district. But it's not a shocker that Homeacre's up there.
No.
Moving forward. But Twin Springs, I feel like
Yeah, I think they're maybe
the
the
biggest
top.
ones in that's moving forward. But you got Chilhowie still looking
Chilhowie,
good.
PH, and Holston are 2 other
They're
teams.
fine right now.
I think all 5 of those teams, Homeacre, Twin Springs, Chilhowie, PH, and Holston are all moving in the right direction. And Homeacre, despite the loss to Virginia High, they lost to a darn good football team. I don't necessarily think Homeacre is at the top of those 5.
Oh, no.
I think they probably are number 5 of
Yeah.
those teams. And there's other teams that are doing well within the region. I mean, Chilhowie, PH, Holston, I think, are in that upper echelon with. And I think
when the playoffs come out, just the BDD is going to have to get a good draw.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, they're going to be over.
Yeah, I think so as well. I don't think BDD has anything comparable to what Cumberland and HOGOHEEGEE have right now as far as moving in the right direction. And then there's some other teams that are not even mentioned here that I think are moving in the right
That's
direction
right.
as well. But we've only focused on the top 5. Let's take a look at 2A. Which teams do you think are moving in the right direction in 2A?
Ridgeview,
Definitely.
Graham, Virginia High. That's obvious. They're
Ridge-
both
I
5-1 undefeated. That bunch that plays over there that carries them fanny packs, I guess, they're in the right directions.
Union.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Union. Richlands, Tazewell. What about them? Maybe. I don't really think they're moving in the right direction. I think
they played each other. Somebody had to win.
Somebody got to get the win there.
They're going to have to, these next 5 games I think they've got, they're going to have to upset somebody. They're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
Or they might not make it.
I think Abingdon, we throw them into the mix. Abingdon's definitely moving in the right direction. They're looking probably at a home playoff game if they keep it up. But, yeah, I agree with you. Ridgeview, Union, Graham, Virginia High. What about Wise? Maybe. I think Wise is right there on the cusp of it, dude.
Well, we'll find out this week.
Yeah, this is a big game. This is a chance for Wise to prove that they're moving in the right direction. So I would go with those 2A teams there. I would agree with you. Ridgeview, Union, Graham, Virginia High, and maybe that 5th one's kind of questionable there. Wise possibly. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, our game of the year contenders. So far, there's been some heck of a football games, and there's been a bunch of routes and one-sided victories as well. But 3 games stand out so far this year, and you might be able to think of another one. But I'm going to say right now, my candidate for game of the year is Graham and Union, 28-27. It's a classic every time they play.
Yeah, you've got the one that we haven't talked. Tazewell and Richlands was a good one this week.
Yeah, Tazewell Richlands.
The Lehigh Norton is in there, but you don't have one in there that I was at the game.
Which one?
Grundy Golden Wave against Blacksburg. It come down with last seconds. The coach tried to kick a field goal and missed, and Grundy won 2019.
Yeah, there you go. That was a big one.
So you could add that one in there.
So you got 3 or 4 pretty good games right there, and if you were fortunate enough to watch either one of them, you probably maybe we've forgotten one. If we have, put it in the comments section and let us know about it. We'd we're not beyond forgetting something. I can promise you that.
That's a fact.
All right, so we've got 2 or 3 little games there for the game of the year contenders. All right, player of the year contenders. We'll talk about them for just a few minutes. There's so many notable players that we could mention and throw their name out there, region-wide, area-wide, and you could even narrow it down to districts. Yeah. You could say somebody, the best player in this district, but a couple of names that I wrote down that come to mind was Jaquan McPhail from PH, putting up some really good numbers. Didn't have a really good night the other night, but he's done well. Sage Webb from Richlands.
He's doing it all for him.
Yep.
If he don't do it, it don't get done.
Xavier Lomax from Union just keeps running and getting better and better at it. Malik Hounsell from Abingdon, one of the region's best athletes all the way around. Stevie Thomas from Virginia High putting up some pretty good numbers. And we got little Jacob Cooper, Twin Valley.
You got Ian Scammell.
Putting up some really good rushing.
Got that kid from Castlewood.
What's Landon Taylor.
Landon Taylor got him.
Yeah.
But you still got Bradshaw Jr.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. You didn't even mention him.
You got Zay Bradshaw.
Yeah.
You got the kid from Virginia High. I forgot his name.
Stevie Thomas as
well.
Oh,
that's right. You got him.
And there's another one there. I forget his Delaney's last name.
That's
Delaney. He's a tough ball player.
There's some good players in the area right now.
Yeah, all the way around. Don't forget the Oakwing kid throwing the ball at
that's right.
Ridgeview. To be a freshman.
That's right. And he's in all these games as a freshman.
So there's just a ton of great athletes that, if you haven't had a chance to get out and watch them play, you need to stop by and watch. There's some really good ones out there. But the list is long, but it's going to get shorter as we get closer to the playoffs, and we'll find out, who's going to be top 4 or 5 contenders for this player of the year. All right, with that, let's talk about the coach of the year contenders. Who do you think right now is in the running for it? I got one name. I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna let you see if you.
Well,
Let's talk 1A first.
1A, the coach of the year, I said is Keith Warner is on the top of my list. And then you've got another one you can't throw out just because they do it every year is Robertson from Chilhowie. I mean, he's 5-0, and everybody said he wasn't going to be worth a dime. So how do you? I mean, what do you do? Then you got Patterson. Well, that's it. That's 2A.
Yeah, that's 2A.
Well, you got Holston.
Well, you got Coach Paget's done a pretty good job with PH.
In Acres, I mean, you got Acres, anybody right now.
But I think the one that sticks out to me right now is Keith Warner at Twin Springs. I don't know if people expected them to do what they've done, and I tell you what, they're not a bad football team.
But if Chilhowie runs the table and wins the region again, how do you
not go with that?
I mean, and they wasn't supposed to be very good this year.
That's true. I was figuring they was a 6-4 ball club.
But that's right. They're sitting at 5-0. I'm like you. Keith Warner's at the top of my list. They don't mean nothing, but I've been there where he has been. I mean, we've coached teams with 18 kids, 15 kids, and now we've coached them with 20-some. But he's done pretty good there, and it's paying off for him right now.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at 2A. You mentioned Coach Patterson a minute ago, Virginia High. His name's got to be thrown in there, but 2A is crowded, man. We got some good coaches, and not that we just the other coaches that we're not going to mention aren't good. It's just that some of them are really having teams are playing a good year. But Travis Turner at Union, I got that sweet tea. Todd Tiller at Ridgeview, making some noise.
Hard to give them some credit, boys.
It's tough. Tony Palmer,
he's doing what he does.
Been known to win a game or two.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. That you've got Travis and you got Tony that's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
But you put Todd up there. All right, let's say Todd lost the best running back in the area. They're going to rebuild. They're not going to be very good. They're sitting at 5-1 and almost beat you.
And them throwing the ball.
And kinda, I feel like it was an upset to beat Wise when they beat Wise. Yeah. So he's got to be up there.
Yeah.
But Union lost a few players too. But I mean, like I said, it's going to be tough in that Mountain 7 to pick one. You got Abingdon still rolling.
So you look most of about every coach in the Mountain 7 you
could be coach of the year.
You could throw them up there. So that's saying a whole lot. So right now, there's a lot of contenders still out there, and there may be somebody's name we haven't even mentioned that may go on a tear here at the end of the season. And
we're just this is mid-season review, so anything can happen. We might have jinxed most of them.
Yeah, it's like getting put on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
That's right.
They may not win another ball game.
No, if it's like getting put on the cover of Madden, you're gonna get hurt.
That's true.
This season.
All right. Well, each week we try to stump the Craig, so we're going to try it one more time here. Stump the Craig, brought to you by the Patriot Outpost. I have 3 questions here, actually 4, but we'll just do 3 of them. And all of these answers, I will tell you this, have something to do with mathematics.
I'm good at math.
So the topic is mathematics. I want you to be thinking math. And as you're thinking math, we're going to, I'm going to let you try to figure out the answer to these questions. And let me pull them up here. Okay, so we have, these are not in hermetically sealed envelope, as you can tell. But this is a different show, so we weren't able to get those today. So I've got here in my hands, and I'm going to fold it up so you can't see it. And I want you to tell me what, you need to touch it, look at it, hold it in your head, whatever. Just tell me what you think the answer is.
I got them if it's math.
Okay, it's math. You see, you're good at math.
I'm great at math.
All right, so which one is it? What's the answer?
It is hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse.
Yeah, I learned that in geometry.
That's pretty good. You remember that from geometry?
Yep, it's that Pythagoras of theorems. But that's that hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. All right, that's a pretty good one. Hypotenuse. Let's see what we got here. Hypotenuse. is the correct answer, and the question is, what do you call a toilet being flushed in an airplane?
Hypotenuse.
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 That's right.
Hypotenuse. That's a pretty good one.
That's a fact, boys. I know my math.
No, you. All right, 1 for 1. That's pretty good. I got the other. I got 4 here. Pick any of the 3. Two more of the 3.
Parallel lines.
What?
That's 2 lines that goes this way, side by side.
Do they touch?
Don't think so.
Parallel lines. All right.
They don't intersect.
Ooh, intersections and parallel lines and hypotenuse. Anything else you want to throw out there? Pythagoras.
The Pythagorean theorem.
All right.
They said I didn't need that in life.
You used it.
They used it the first time.
No, you haven't used it. That would have been one of the answers you could have said. You used
That's
hypotenuse
true.
today. All right, parallel lines is the answer, and the question is, what did the zookeeper call the 2 newborn lion cubs?
Parallel lines.
Parallel lines. I guess that's true.
Easy.
They were
boy.
twin cubs, parallel lines. Okay, that's good. I can handle that. It's a pretty good one. All right. Got one. Got 2 more in here. You pick the answer to either one of them.
Concave. That's opposite of complex, ain't it?
Convex.
Convex.
So concave is the answer.
Yeah, concave.
Concave. All right, concave.
Ain't that like a mirror? No, this is math, ain't it?
Yeah, this is math. I think that's some of your headlights. Concave. Where do escaped convicts hide out? In a concave.
And I concave.
Concave. All right, very good. Once again, we have tried and failed to stump the Craig there. All right, folks, that does it for our mid-season report. We'll return next week with episode 4.7 and go back to everything as usual with all our picks and stuff. Until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
I'm Coach Krieger.
See you on the flip side.